So excess of chi, asthma is excess of chi. In case there is an attack, the patient is suffering, so it's a kind of an emergency. You should get relief immediately. What should you do? You should transfer the chi of lungs. Where can you transfer? Where can it go? The chi will go to the sun only. So remember, in 99% cases, mother provides chi to son. Okay, mother provides chi to son. So if lungs, who is the son of the lungs? The kidney is the son of lungs. Therefore, the chi should be transferred. If there is excess with lungs, it should be transferred to kidney. So how will you transfer? All of you should work it out. Lungs is excess, asthmatic attack. What should be the treatment? What should you do? What should you do?
We'll sedate the sun point
on
Yes.
lung meridian.
Very good. Well said. Asthma. Right? So what will you do? Number one.
So we'll sedate the sun point.
What is sun point of? See, lungs is connected to metal element. Lungs is connected to metal element. Who is the son of the metal? Water. Therefore, the water point on lungs meridian is the sun point. What is that? So value 5. Sedate sun point 35. Can we do anything else? We can tone mother point. Can we? Should we? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What point is that?
So lung line.
Who said lung line?
Avinash will do.
Oh, you should not say so. You see, who is excess? Lungs is excess. Lungs is mother is tonification point. If you will tone, more chi will come from spleen to lungs. So that will create further problem. Isn't it so? You should never tone mother point of lungs.
Mother will be fire point, sir.
No,
sir.
mother will be earth point on lungs.
Earth point.
Should you tone it?
That will be.
You should never, because mother point is tonification point and already lungs is excess. If you tone lungs, lung LU9, that is mother point of lungs, more chi will come from spleen to lungs. So lungs will have further problem. It is not able to accommodate. The patient may die. He will have further problem. Okay. Don't do this. No. You have to take out the chi from lungs. The lungs chi can go where? To kidney.
Kidney mother point.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What is that?
K7 tone, sir.
K7
tone.
So in asthmatic attack, if you give only these 2 points, you will see wonderful. चमत्कार देखेंगे आप. It is tremendous treatment for asthmatic attack. Tremendous. Okay. You got it? Got it?
Got it, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now any other point if you have, mother, son, and what you can do, you can, if you have to take from grandmother, and if you want to be really safe side, the best thing is the grandmother should transfer the chi to son, that is father of the parent of the organ, and then you can take. For example, liver. Suppose liver is plus, okay, right, and spleen is minus. What should we do? Instead of taking, you see, there is a method. If you tonify SP1, the chi will directly come from liver to spleen. But should we take the chi? This concept is nowhere in no book. And I don't know that if in future if the teachers will try to teach it. The only method of transferring chi from liver to spleen is what? They will tell you what? Tone SP1. Should we do it or not? Suppose this is not only 1 minus, this is double minus. Now be very careful. Everyone should now concentrate what I am going to tell you. Please listen to it very carefully. SP1 tonification will bring chi from liver to spleen. Okay? Liver to spleen, if the chi is brought, what does it mean? It means a non-vegetarian food for spleen. Do you know why?
सर ऑडियो बहुत कम है, थोड़ा लाउड.
अच्छा, देखता हूँ कितना है. 70. स्पीकिंग का थोड़ी होगा, हेयरिंग बढ़ेगी ना यहाँ से. स्पीकर्स, कैन यू, इज इट नाउ increased? The voice is increasing?
Yes,
Yeah.
Guruji.
Okay, so I have made
Yes,
it, I have made it 1900, I have made it, okay?
Yes.
Now, this is something very, very important which nowhere you will find. Please try to understand. This will make you experts in 5 element theory. This is true, this is not wrong. SP1 tonification will transfer chi from liver to spleen. See, there is yet another method. If liver is excess, spleen is deficient. So first is, what you should do is, number one, what you should do, because liver is excess and spleen is deficient, problem that has been created is because spleen deficiency, right? So what you should do, first what you should do, tone mother point of spleen. What is that? SP2. And then, so what it will do, this will try to bring the chi from heart, but we are not concerned, we don't want to bring the chi from heart. Where should we want? So we want the chi from liver. So what you should do, so what you can tone, or you can do one thing. What you should do, either you tone the mother of heart. So what will happen? The chi will come from liver to heart, right? You can do this. So you can tone mother of heart, or there is another option. Or what is the option? Sedate son of liver. Very carefully you should try to understand what we should do. If we tonify SP1, then also the liver's chi will come to spleen. Now liver is the checker, is the controller of SP. When you will go to level 2, you will know that liver sedates spleen. Right? It is something like if you have non-vegetarian food, it takes longer to digest and it becomes difficult to digest. And in this case, when the spleen is weak, the digestive system is weak, you cannot have it. You should not have it. right? The best thing is to take the chi from mother. How? That is from heart. How? That is from SP2. Well, heart is not excess, so don't sedate the sun point of heart. Don't mother point of spleen, so it will suck. Like a child sucks the breast of mother, and that is the best food for that child. Similarly, SP2 will do what? It will try to suck the chi from heart. Now, heart is not excess. What is excess? Liver is excess. So, if liver is excess and heart is not deficient, if the heart were deficient also, then we would have toned the mother point of heart. But that is not so. That is not so. It is liver which is excess. So we should go to the second option. That is sedate the sun point of liver. That is liver 2. If you sedate liver 2, what will happen? The extra chi of liver will go to heart. Right? So you should not do this. What should you do? Which one you should do? You should do this. You see, even if you do mistake, even if you do SP1, he will have some soothing effect, but it will take time. It will take a lot of time. And it may not give him soothing effect immediately. Why? Because liver is like a non-veg to spleen, that too weak spleen. The weak spleen will be further attacked by liver. All this we will talk in level 2. Okay? Because someone had asked this and Shirley suggested SP1. Therefore, I tried to explain it. And the further explanation will come when you join level 2. Shall we remove it? Is it
Yes, Guruji.
clear? Subhash, have you understood it? Subhash, are you there?
Yes, हाँ sir, I'm here sir.
So an expert acupuncturist and a general acupuncturist, there is a difference. Right? Why people are not using this method? Right? Why we are sedating liver and then we are tonifying spleen, etc. etc. If you take spleens, diagonal meridian, all this will be taken care of without your saying. All this will be taken care of. Anyway, so I shall remove this. So this is done. Now we are here. We will take up something else. We will take up what should we take up? I think in the syllabus we have what is there, mother son law, first point, last point we can do later. Some important point. Let us take more important point which we will not cover in level 2. That is, there is a set of some points which are called distal points. They are called distal points. Now there are many distal points. Distal point means a point of treatment lies far away from the place of ailment in the body. That is distal point. What is local point? Distal point means point of treatment away from location of ailment. Okay. What is local point? If you know distal point, then local point is easy to know. What is local point? That is, point of treatment should be around
the site,
ailment, right? When do you use distal point to treat, and when do you use local point? Who has an idea? Tell me now, फटाफट, जल्दी से काम हो जाना चाहिए. When do you try to use distal point and when do you try to use local point? Yes, come on. Who will tell me?
एक्सेस आए तो डिस्टल पॉइंट यूज करते सर.
कब? When?
एक्सेस एनर्जी.
हाँ.
डेफिशिएंसी आए तो लोकल पॉइंट यूज करते सर.
Wonderful, Dr. Subramaniam. Very well
Thank you,
said. Dr. Subramaniam is very correct. Distal point you use in case of excess condition. Very good. Wow. Dr. Subramaniam, I was not expecting it from you. Anyway, done wonderful. Very good. Remember this thing. Okay? This is a very good explanation, very good fact provided by Dr. Subramanian. Very good. Well done. You remember this. Now there is a huge number of points are distal points. There are many distal points which were, but out of them also, there are 6 very important distal points about which you should know. So those points we will list here and we will talk a little bit about each of them. Number 1 is Li4. Now Li4 is a point on large intestine meridian. Is a point on large intestine meridian. The empirical effect of Li4, distal point, has been properly understood and has been studied for a long time. Li4 is a point which dilates the entry points. Right? And this dilates the entry point where from head to toe. What this will do? Li4 has an intrinsic property. What? To dilate the entry points. This can also close the exit points. Another effect of Li4, it can close points. So if you are not careful, dilating the entry points will lose all the charm, because if the exit points are, so you have to use Li4 properly. Therefore, what people do, they put a straight needle. So whatever has to happen will happen. So just putting a straight needle. So if the entry points are to be treated, it will be dilated. If the exit points are to be treated, it will be closed. But that is not how an expert should use it. Let us examine what are the entry points. What do we mean by entry points? You see, all our sense organs are holes. The ear is a hole. The ear is a hole. Eyes are hole. Mouth is hole. Nose is hole. Right? And the pores on the skin, or the sense of touch. Sense of.
కొంచెం రిలీఫ్ వస్తుంది రాకుంటే ఇంకా ఏదో విధంగా తెచ్చి ఇక్కడ క్యూర్ చేసి
I can't understand here what you are talking.
పంపించారు.
Telugu. Hello. Telugu, I don't understand. We don't understand Telugu. You should speak in some language which we also understand. Telugu, we don't understand, man. Yes, Subramaniam, what do you want to say? Li4 is basically used for dilating the entry points, but it can be used to close exit points in certain cases. But most important function of Li4 is to dilate the entry points. What is dilation of entry points? The food entering in your throat, sound entering into your ears, smell entering into your nose, air entering into your nose, eyesight entering into your eyes. Are you getting it? Then what? The blood is entering from arteries to veins. Blood is entering from arteries to veins. Isn't it? Then the material from stomach is entering into small intestine. The material of small intestine is entering into large intestine. Are you getting it? The mother chi is entering into some organ. The mother organ is providing the function of chi to the son organ, and this chi is entering whom? The son organ. So it will facilitate the entrance of the chi into son organ. So when can you use Li4? All these conditions you can use Li4. Are you getting it? If there is some, why pain occurs? Why pain occurs? The most important and the most common cause of any pain anywhere, whether it is headache or whether it is earache or whether it is stomachache or whatever kind of ache is there, the reason being stagnation of some body fluid or chi. What is pain? What is the most common cause of pain? Pain occurs most commonly because of what? Stagnation. Stagnation of what? Of chi or fluid. Fluid includes blood also. If the blood stops, there is a stasis of blood. That pain is more than the stagnation of chi. Very bad. Stagnation of chi also gives pain, and stasis of blood also gives pain. But stasis of blood, the pain of the stasis of blood is very acute and sharp and pinpointed. Whereas the pain of stagnation of chi is quite spread around over an area. Right? So Li4 can help to remove this stagnation. Something is stagnated means its exit is closed either, or the entry into the another channel is closed. So if the entry is dilated, and instead of closing the exit points, if this entry is dilated and simultaneously if it is joined together, so what will happen? This stagnation will get a chance to change into regular flow of fluids. So Li4 can always help wherever there is a problem of stagnation of chi or stagnation of body fluids. Why? So it will try to regulate, it will try to help in making the body fluids and chi flowing in the normal path, in the normal way. Right? So if you have injury, if you have broken your bone, will Li4 work? Avinash?
Yes, Guruji.
It will not work.
It will not. Okay.
It will not work. The Li4 will do what? It will only dilate the junctions, entry and exit points. Remember, if you want to dilate, if you want to open up, then the Li4 should be sedated. And if you want to close, it should be tonified. Will you remember? In order to open an entry, open a hole, you have to sedate. And in order to close, you have to tone.
In each condition, it's not applicable, sir. Fracture and
In any condition where the pain is not because of the stagnation or stasis of body fluid and chi, Li4 will not help. The fracture is not because of stagnation or stasis, it is because of some injury, it is because of some trauma. So trauma, if suppose you have hurt, someone has kicked you somewhere, the Li4 is not going to help. Have you been using Li4 frequently?
in pain conditions.
Huh? Have you been using? Huh? This is called analgesic point. This is called analgesic point. Remember what kind of pain it will do away with. So suppose this is so beneficial. So if wherever there is a stagnation, joint pains, can you use Li4 or not? Who will tell me? Who can tell me? Joint pains are because of the things which are in the arterioles and venules. Some larger particles, they go and they get stuck. For example, even in rheumatoid arthritis, they get stuck. Joints start getting strictures, right? And joints cannot move because of those. And Li4 will help or not? Subhash, Li4 will help or not?
Yes, sir. It will help, sir.
It will help. Why? Because it will dilate those junctions of arteries and veins, so that the larger particles which are choking these small pathways of blood and body fluids, they will be opened up and there will be some flow, and if there will be some flow, the pain will go. But can you use it? If someone has given you a danda, a traumatic effect, no. If you have a bruise, no. Like for me.
So you mean to say internal or external injury?
Internal, external.
Like if it is in case of tooth extract. Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sir, you mean to say internal and external injury, like in case of tooth extract, it is external injury.
So?
So in that case, it won't help. But if it is a normal tooth fall, it will help.
No, I'm not saying that. You have entirely misunderstood. If the toothache is because of some stagnation, some stasis, Li4 will help. If you want to extract tooth, Li4, first you apply Li4, go for extraction of tooth. Right? It will dilate. So easy extraction. And after extraction, what will you do? Tonify Li4 so that the bleeding will stop. You got it? Before extraction, when there is toothache, what will you do? Li4 sedation. And after the tooth has been extracted, in order that the blood doesn't go much, tonify Li4. You see, Li4 is a distal point for all kinds of problems. That is another aspect of Li4, which I didn't tell you. Li4 is a distal point for neck
to head, sir.
head. Okay. So this is all about Li4. I hope I have told you enough. What else can you use with Li4? For stagnation of chi, what you can use? Generally, it is the liver's chi which gets stagnant. So use another point which is
Liver, sir.
liver. Then you sedate it all only. For stagnation, removal of the stagnation, Li4 is always sedated. Okay, so next point, distal point. Next distal point is LU7. Li4 can also help with what? The Li4 and liver both together can be used to get rid of chronic constipation also, because the stool must go out, isn't it? It will open and dilate, stagnation will be removed, all that can be done. Lot of things you can think with Li4 and liver, Li4 and small intestine. All this you can think. LU7 is the next. LU7 is the distal point of the upper back. This is a distal point for you see. Yesterday we studied organ clock. What is the time of lunch? Lunch time is 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Right? Diametrically opposite, the time of evening 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. is urinary bladder. Isn't it so? Right? Now, on the back of the neck and head, etc., what meridians do you find mostly? You find either small intestine or urinary bladder. Am I right? Right? Now, small intestine and urinary bladder are connected, tie-in. Right? And this I will tell you in detail when we do long meridians. And lungs meridian and this in the same time after 12 hours which opens, that is called horary friend. That is called horary friend. Maybe I shall tell you after this topic. I will take up that. So lungs meridian is horary friend of urinary bladder. If you treat lungs meridian, horary friend will be treated. Now LU7 is a great commander of manipulating all the yin chi, right? Master of this regulates blood, this regulates hormones, this regulates body fluids, this regulates all the yin in the body. Plus, it is horary point of urinary bladder, and urinary bladder is connected to small intestine. Right? So, urinary bladder is carrying a lot of blood, a lot of yang qi. Small intestine is also carrying a lot of yang qi, and lungs is friend of urinary bladder and small intestine. Therefore, LU7 can work very well in case you have any problem of pain, especially on the upper back where small intestine and urinary bladder are moving. So this is LU7. Then the next point is pericardium 6. P6. This is distal point for P6 is distal point for chest and upper abdomen. Chest and blood. Blood means even generation of blood, storage of blood, and distribution of blood also. So this can also help in the flow of body fluids and blood. This can help in flow of body fluids. Flow of body fluids. Okay. So what else is flowing? Where else do you find the blood generation also? If there is a deficiency of storage in the liver, there is a deficiency of the blood in the heart. In both cases, P6 can be used. If there is a deficiency of blood in the head, P6 can be used. Wherever there is a deficiency of blood, P6 can be used. Right? What it does, it allows the blood to occupy space, full space, allowing the blood to nourish every cell. Right? So P6 will allow the blood to go in the chest, to go in the upper abdomen, and even in below the abdomen if there is a problem with blood accumulation in liver, blood deficiency in liver, there also it will help. So P6 generally for any problem in chest, and chest means heart and lungs both. Lungs is receiving the blood from right heart. right? So if the heart is not, if the lungs is not receiving proper amount of blood, what will happen? The amount of oxygen will be less. So there can be what? There can be breathlessness. There can be breathlessness because the heart is not pumping full blood to lungs. So in such breathlessness, which is because of the heart, P6 will help. So this is the distal point for chest and upper abdomen. Then comes stomach 36. ST36 is distal point for what? Tell me, fatafat. Middle bar.
From navel to diaphragm.
Abdomen and its Zhangfu organs. Zhangfu organs. Zhangfu organs. Zhang means solid organs. Fu means hollow organs. Can you see it or you are not able to see it?
You can see it, could you?
Okay. Now you should be able to see. So ST36. So any problem? Now ST36 has so many other things also.
Sir, excuse us, sir. We have to leave.
Okay, please.
Sir,
We are coming to a close, of
Yeah.
course. Okay. You can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you can leave. Then comes urinary bladder 54. UB 54. This is distal point of tell me what?
Low back.
Low back and urogenital organs. Low back and urogenital. Any problem in this, you can use UB54. And then comes SP6. So tomorrow I shall start with SP6. SP6 is an important point and I don't want them to miss over it. So we will start SP6. Or should we complete it now? Because I'm recording, I can give it to them.
Yeah, you can complete now.
No
problem.
It will take another 5-10 minutes. So it should not be very difficult. Okay. Now SP6 is an important point. SP6 is a distal point for what? Frontal back both. SP6 is what? Point for pelvic organs and perineum. Pelvic organ and perineum. Right now, SP6 is another point where 3 yin meridians of leg they are meeting. What are those meridians? The liver meridian, kidney meridian, and spleen meridian. Now, what happens is spleen is supported by kidney, right? And liver is kind of anti-spleen. So, one of the supporters of spleen and one of the opposers of spleen is meeting at this particular point. And this is a point on a spleen meridian. So this is a wonderful point because of this property. Liver opposes spleen and it is looking for a chance. If the spleen goes a little weak, it will immediately attack the spleen and it will subdue it. And kidney is such that if it finds the spleen is a little weak, it will support the spleen. So SP6 is a point which behaves in such a way that it helps spleen, and it helps spleen means it favors whom? It favors kidney, and it has a capacity. G available at SP6 has a capacity to restrict whom? Liver. Like I told you, SP1 tonification will bring liver's chi to spleen, and so therefore you should think twice before bringing these liver's chi directly from liver to spleen. Similarly, SP6 is a point which takes care of all these relations. So SP6 is a very, very important point, right? If the problem is because of excess of liver, you should do what? Sedate SP6. And if the problem is because of deficiency of spleen, you should do SP6. Now remember, liver belongs to Yang family, which I have not told you. Level 2 I will detail what is Yang family, what is Yin family. And spleen is also in the Yang family. And kidney can be of Yang family, can be of Yin family, depending on you are using it on which side, the fire side or the water side. If you want to support kidney, where should you use? On the fire side. Yeah. And if you want yin to be supported, you should use it on the water side. So SP6 can be manipulated in so many ways to help so many conditions related to liver, spleen and kidney. Now because spleen and kidney are also responsible for generating blood, right? Therefore with P6, generally people use SP6 in case of anemia, in case of blood disorders. And because spleen is responsible for lymph, that is white blood cells, so therefore for all lymphatic purposes and lymphatic problems also SP6 is used. So SP6 is a great point, though it is also distal point for low back and pelvic organs. Right? Because spleen, liver and kidney, all that is responsible for pelvic organs, isn't it so? SP6 is one point touching all the meridians. So SP6 is a great point. And it has great effects. It's a wonderful point. SP6 can also be used as source point of a spleen. SP3 is source point, SP6 can also be used as source point of spleen at times, not always. You got it? Any questions you want to ask? Anyone?
Sir,
No, sir.
once again, can you repeat that in what cases it has to be toned or sedate because the network was gone?
SP6.
Hello.
SP6, I'm writing it, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry, you should know. SP6, number one, it favors It favors whom? Spleen and kidney. Right? Number 2, it works to restrict what?
Liver.
Liver tissue. Right? And because number 3, what? It favors blood, especially WBC. Shani, can you see it? Can you see what I have written?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And there is another fact which I told you, that what is kidney? Kidney supports spleen, right? And liver opposes spleen. So accordingly you can use. Understanding these 5 facts, you can make use of the point SP6. Happy now? Not only I have repeated, I have
Sir,
tried.
Sir, I'm not able to. Sir, I'm not able to understand how kidney supports spleen.
Because
You
but,
are you talking about
that you will understand when you come to the advanced classes. This is for those who have already done so many classes. People are repeating here for n number of times, so it is for them. People are repeating. They have done all super advanced classes and they have come back to this basic level one, like Subhash, like Avinash. They have repeated so many times all these classes, so it is for them. I will tell you in level 2 and level 3 all that we will tell you. Don't worry.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can we use ball magnets to treat these points?
Yes, you can use. If you know where to use ball magnets, where to use. So in fact, SP6 you should always use ball magnets only. So be happy. Be happy. Be happy. And Li4 also you should use ball magnets because there is no dimension fixed. It works from head to toe. This also works in the total of the lower and the middle warmer. SP6. So therefore, round magnets are used. Okay, Lu7 also you can, if you are using it as distal point, you can use round magnets. P6 also you can use round magnets. And ST36 and UB54 also, if you are not using for particular 5-element theory, you can use round magnets. Round magnets means ball magnets on the Suzhou. Ball magnets on the Suzhou meridians. Yes, you can use. Any other question?
So SP6 can also use for lower limbs like knee problem and all.
Yes, spleen is in fact controller of both upper and lower limbs. And spleen you can use because spleen is responsible for lymph also. See, I forgot to tell you. In fact, I told you. Spleen is responsible for lymphatic channels. So SP6 will help you there in the lower area, lymph of what? Pelvic area, the leg, everything will be used. Leg ka lymph be used, will be activated. Well, lymph has to be activated only because there is no pump. It's only activation. So SP6 will do that also. Yes, you are right.
So, to treat lower limbs, do we have to sedate SP6?
Why always sedate? You may have to tone also, but if it is a lymphatic problem, you have to sedate. Lymphatic problem होगा तो क्या होगा? It will be an excess condition. If lymphatic problem है तो क्या होगा? It will be excess problem. Okay? Lymph में क्या होता है? Blockage होती है. Accumulation. नहीं? Accumulation is the first stage of disease. If the limbs are not activated, if you are not doing proper exercises, if the limbs are not activated, means you are not doing proper exercises, then all this problem comes. So the lower area, for the pelvic area and legs, SP6 will be working very well. Of course, you can combine it with a few important points like stomach 30. You can combine SP6 and stomach 30, very good combination. Stomach 30 is what? Gateway. Anything from top, if it has to go down, stomach 36. 30, sorry, not 36, 30. Stomach 30. Any problem from waist to toe? Okay, so I shall bid a good night to all of you and hope that I have given you something to understand.
Sir, one thing more. When it is a very good, but when it is a very good point for WBC and lymphatic and also the lower region, then why it is not to be used in pregnancy cases?
It dilates. Spleen does what? Spleen in level 2. Level 2, I shall tell you different kinds of cheese and their importance and their function. Spleen has a function to do what?
Transform.
No, to raise and
hold the organs.
Hold and
to
raise.
hold the organs.
Yes. So of course,
So SP6 you can use in pregnancy to hold the baby in the womb if you tonify it. But you should not sedate it. If you sedate it, then the spleen will be weakened and the child can be aborted. So SP6 is avoided. You should avoid SP6. It opens the cervix.
It opens the
cervix.
Okay.
Mouth of the womb.
Okay.
So when it is a delivery time, you should definitely use SP6 and sedate it so that it will open. But only opening the cervix may not be good. You should also see that the child is in right position and it goes down. Unless the child baby comes down, even cervix opening will not have any effect because all the water from the womb will go out and the baby will remain. So there are a lot of other things which you should know before you go to use all these points in pregnancy. SP6, don't use it in pregnancy unnecessarily unless you know what you are doing. ठीक है? Okay?
हाँ जी. Yeah.
छोड़ू अभी गुड नाइट बोलूं? Take a screenshot. We meet tomorrow. And tomorrow we are meeting.
Yes, take and say.
You are free, no?
At 4:30?
4:30 is okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow free. 4:30?
4:30. Just
if possible, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock will be better.
He's okay.
So I am busy from 5 onwards, but if I can get the recording, I'll listen to it. I don't want to disturb the whole class.
So I think 3 p.m. will be okay.
Shall we start it from 3:30 so that before 5 we finish?
Yeah.
That will be
3:30.
Yes.
Sir, 3.
So 3:30.
Sir, I am not comfortable. 3:30, I
Yes,
am
sir.
not comfortable. 4:30 is okay.
3:30 you are not comfortable?